Hey everybody, this just arrived. I took the outside shrink wrap off, but let's get it open and take a look at the figure. This is the Doyle Triceratops in 1/35th scale from PNSO. So a pretty nice looking box. This is just a big giant lid that lifts right up, so I need both hands to do that, so give me a second. Right there that is. I'll set this back there. Okay, you got some foam on top. Wow, big thick packet of something in there. And let's see what's in here. Okay, this looks like the little Triceratops skull that you get. Take a look at that. Okay, we'll set that aside, and then let's get to the actual figure. All right, there he is. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And there it is, out of the box. Looks really cool. Take a quick look at that skull. Wow, really nice sculpt and detail. It's kind of like a medium brown color with a little bit of a black wash on it. Very glossy. The horns are kind of soft. You can bend them. But the rest of it feels more like a hard plastic or hard rubber. See if we can see those teeth in there. Yeah, see those little teeth? There's kind of like a little bit of a tan, kind of a wash in the mouth and in the eye sockets, which gives it a very realistic look. There's texture all over the crest of the Triceratops. Pretty nice looking. Here is the figure. First, let's start off on the texture. His scales are pretty amazing. He's got some much larger scales that transition down to much smaller ones. This figure is kind of a medium brown with a little tiny bit of dark brown wash on the very top. And then the underside is like a kind of a mustardy tan color, like along the sides here. It's almost a peach, like a very, very light brown at the bottom. Kind of a pinkish peach color on top of the brown. Then it transitions to that light, really light brown tan, kind of mustardy color. Then it goes up into, it almost seems like there's a little bit of oranges in there. The camera's not really showing it up very well. But there is just a light little bit of orange, and then this dark brown is put over the top. So it looks pretty good. Got a little short tail there. Got some texture on the bottom of the feet. Sculpted pretty nice. Got some wrinkles on the neck. Now if you look inside the mouth, you can see he has gums and teeth on the roof of his mouth. And it's painted like a nice pinkish color in there. And then he also has teeth on his bottom jaw. It's not really doing it justice, but they're in there. And a little tongue back in there. Looks really good. Now this is the sculpt of a Triceratops that doesn't have traditional cheeks. That's why the mouth looks so long. Because now they're saying that possibly Triceratops didn't have cheeks. So you can see it's a tight, snug fit too when you shut the mouth. That beak goes way up in there, so you got to get kind of a grip on it to bring it back down if you want to pose it with an open mouth. But a really nice hooked beak, pretty cool nostril. He's got some like tendon ligament tissue there inside the mouth. He's got an orange eye with a little pupil. Looks a lot like a bird eye. But that looks good. They did a really good job on the multi-tone of paint on this figure. Let's look at this eye, see if it's as good as the other one. And it seems to be pretty good. A really nice looking eye. Excellent paintwork. Then there's like these little like ridges on the horns. And not only are those painted, but you can actually feel them. Like they're got a little texture, like they really are ridged. Got these real long horns that turn dark brown again down at the tips. Nice and straight, sharp. But it is like a soft rubber. The horns won't hurt anyone. I was thinking before when I saw this, the back of the frill, it almost looks like a Venus flytrap. It doesn't have like the little teeth coming off the edges. Like it might flap shut on you. Look at all those little wrinkles down in there. There's a little bit of texture on the back of the frill. Kind of like a tannish peach kind of color. And it's all trimmed out in dark brown. does have like those little scoots or whatever you call those scales go along the outer edge. And they're painted slightly lighter, but they're just so small, it's kind of difficult to see on camera. Let me see if I can get that orange to show up at all. There is a little bit of an orangish look in his back there. He's got nice painted toes, kind of looks like a hippo's foot. Muscular arms. I guess you'd call those arms or legs, one or the other. But really nice painted toes. Really nice sculpt. It's got a little weight to it, like it feels like a solid figure. It's definitely not hollow. From the back, it looks like this. He's almost facing straight forward, just the tiniest little crank to his neck, but hardly nothing. I kind of like that. I don't like it when a lot of figures are in too much of a dynamic pose, because then you're stuck posing them a certain way or in a certain situation, and you can't really do a whole lot more than that. Whereas this, it just looks more natural. Like, you don't always need a figure in some over-the-top dynamic pose. I think it takes away a lot from just the overall look of a figure when they do that. Some people love it, I don't. I like a more straightforward, static pose. I like that on the theropods and the ceratopsians and on the sauropods. It just, I wouldn't mind if they made two of every figure, one like this and then one in a very dynamic pose, and they could do that with every figure, and then people could pick the one that they prefer, you know? I would almost always go for the more straight, static pose. I like it a lot better that way. But yeah, it looks really good. Looks good with the mouth closed. And it looks really good with the mouth open. I wonder what's all in this packet that came with it. Okay, this is what's inside. Looks like you got a little plastic bag full of like little note cards. Well, you can see you get a lot of these little notes. Tells you all about the lifestyle and life cycle and diet and everything of Doyle, the Triceratops. You get some of these folded up pictures, and there's quite a few of them. I didn't go through them all. Then you get some blank pieces of paper, like maybe these are for you to put your own notes or maybe even your own sketches. But they're just trimmed pieces of paper. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe you could put these note cards on them, like if you were going to do like a art exhibit or something like that. But really nice. A lot of extra stuff in this package. Wow, some of the stuff you get with this is really nice. You could frame some of this stuff and hang it on the wall. Here's a picture with some of those like quills that they think Triceratops may have sported. All right, you are supposed to use that white paper behind the photos, like, and then put the little cards with it if you do like an art exhibit or like a museum exhibit with this packet. Really clever, really nice. A lot of photos of the actual figure, which is kind of cool. And some black and white ones, of course, thrown in. If that figure was painted completely black, it would still look super cool. I know it probably wouldn't be black, but I think it would look great. That's it. That's the last page. That's pretty much the entire package. Everything that was in here. So a long review, but I just wanted to show everything that you got with this figure. Because it was such a over-the-top collectible. Get that mouth open there. Super cool set if you're interested. I just thought I'd show that off. Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. I personally do not believe that dinosaurs are real. I don't buy it. I think it's fantasy, just like dragons are fantasy. And even though I like the figure, just like I like a Godzilla figure or a dragon figure, I also like the look of a dinosaur toy, but I certainly do not believe that they existed in real life. So that's my disclaimer on this video.